Welcome to Church of the Chair, where we celebrate all the things we do while seated. I'm your host, E, here today with my co-host, Chad Lutzke. We are currently collaborating on a novel called Planet Caravan. We are like 43,000 words or something like that. I don't know. But this stream is for motivation. So if you're having problems getting a routine down, or just writing every day, whatever, that's what we're here for. You can write along with us. You can create along with us. You can do crafting, drawing, graphic design, whatever you want. Also, we're here to answer questions about the collaborative process. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to answer. We are now 26 episodes deep. So if you haven't caught on by now, yeah. Comments. Oh, I was in the wrong thing. Hey, Viking, how you doing? Yo. I finally hit 50 followers on Twitch, so I'm just waiting for them to give me the invite for affiliate.
Nice.
Good morning, Boggle. We were just talking about you last night over on Twitch. I said Boggle only really shows up for the King content and the live streams, and I doubt she's going to come over to the Twitch. So, hey, God damn it, Viking. No, it was all good. But I think it always happens anytime someone misspells something. Someone. Well, we all end up bringing you up, and we're like, oh, we missed Boggle. But there will be some streams and stuff on the YouTube channel this coming week. Now that I've hit 50 over there, I wanted to use all my effort and everything. That wasn't on purpose. It's just the Boggle effect, man. It's completely the Boggle effect. Yeah, I don't have Twitch or that other one either. Yeah, you're fine. I get that. Viking, neither does Viking. Viking said, "Fuck you, man. I ain't going to Twitch." I'm kidding. He did not say that. Hey, Pedro, how you doing? Hey, Pedro, what do you do while you're in here? Are you writing also? I'm just curious, man. Like, if you just like sitting around listening to us, that's fine. I was just wondering. You never talk about what you doing, brother. All right. Let's see what Mr. Lutzke has for us. Anything new?
I wrote a little bit this morning, a little bit after you read last night, but not just like a couple paragraphs, and I left some comments for some discussion on some things.
Gotcha. What's the UG for? I mean, I'm kind of iffing. The UG. You do realize?
No.
Okay.
No. It's like a face palm. It's like a. That's my Hang on a second.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one because damn near everybody around here says it. If that's the case.
Okay. No. 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 That was just merely that I could have put that anywhere in that paragraph. Okay. I just highlighted the first word and then. No. I am not a. I know you like this. Well, King does it like freaking crazy. And I've seen you do it in some of your books. I am not a fan of crazy dialogue.
Hey, I told you about these two. Anyways, all right.
Well, I thought this. How about, can we compromise? And she lets it slip in. So the occasional word is, but always a word that somebody doesn't have to. Because, dude, I read this. I don't know what she's saying. Like,
yeah, that was kind of okay. And I know you're not going to agree with it. But that was the point.
In the paragraph above, she said something like Bahaba or something like that. I'm like, what the frick?
Yeah, going down to Bahaba, grab yourself some lobster.
I don't even know what a Bahaba is.
Bar Harbor.
Bar Harbor?
Bar Harbor, Maine. They're famous for their lobster. That's what I'm getting at. And also I don't plan on using Nancy and Cookie for anything else really.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the only instance of that I was going to really run into because I do not see them being important to the grand scheme of things. But anyways, if you want me to change it, I'll change it. But yes, I do.
Well, I
do like the characters who.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, I was like, oh man, this is the kind of stuff that like pulls me so fast out of a story. And I'm like, what is she doing? And sometimes, yeah, like King does that a lot. There was a, I can't remember, there was a book that did that real bad. I can't remember. And I told you about how much I love Midnight Rain by James Newman.
Hmm.
But the kid has a lisp in there.
Yeah.
And when he talks, it's like, oh,
Well, like I said, if it makes you feel any
want to
better, I'm not
strangle
using these two for anything. I thought it was just a funny moment of uncertainty with like no clue what the fuck they're talking about. But if you want to, I will change it.
But I mean, do people? Okay, put it this way: um, people who have these accents. I mean, I've never been there. I've only seen movies, and then YouTube videos, whatever. But I've
Yeah.
never actually been there. But I've talked to people in, East Coast, Maine, Boston, whatever. And do they? Are they that hard to understand, or is it just hard to read what?
No, they.
I mean,
So,
they
okay.
walk around like Jamaican, like some Jamaicans do. I saw a video just a couple days ago. White dude, black dude having a conversation. Subtitles, thank God, because
Yeah.
you couldn't make a word out that they were saying. It was all they were in Jamaica.
Yeah. Yes.
But
When we
they were speaking English. But
yes
it was just lazy gibberish.
when
It sounded like.
when when we first moved up there to Maine, I spent 2.5 years roughly. The first 3 months, I was constantly saying what, because especially the Canada one is fucked me all up. I had this general manager. I was an assistant manager for a restaurant, and she would always say Canada, and I'd have no idea what the fuck she's talking about. Canada, and I'm like, wait, it's like, and it never even clicked. They're right on the border of Canada, so there's a lot of passing through. And she's always talking about Canada, but it always came out Canada, and that line going down to Bahama catch us some lobster is literally shit that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain going from California, where, in my opinion, no one has an accent. That is the most neutral American accent I have ever heard. It's like you can't tell that someone is from California. At least I can't. Now, going literally, probably because I was born there. Going literally anywhere else, I notice other accents. So maybe there is an accent, whatever. But when I think of an American accent, I think of two accents. I think of out west is just no accent, and then southern accent, and then everything else is like a play off that. But anyways, I came to the South, and there were people who talked like Cookie, who the accent is so thick that all their words just kind of run together. Arizona doesn't have one either, I don't think. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But and then we went up to Maine, but the culture shock, just to the vernacular alone, going from the South up there was even harder to get used to, because they would throw R, like I said in the paragraphs, they throw R's in places that don't need them, like idea, Canada, loads of other ones, and then drop the R's off all the words with R's. And it's like a Massachusetts accent, like a Boston accent, but to the nth degree. Like I can understand, like when I watch Good Will Hunting or something like that. I've been through Boston, but I've never actually lived there, never actually talked to someone with a Bostonian accent. But you go up to Maine, and it is that Good Will Hunting accent, just completely to the worst degree, like I said. But yes, people actually, and the funny thing is, I've never heard Ayuh. King writes it all the time. I've never heard it anywhere else but in Maine. So it's whatever. Like I said, if you want to keep it, that's fine, because I don't plan on using them anymore. Maybe a line here and there, do a running joke where no one understands what the fuck they're talking about except for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can change it. It doesn't matter. I thought it was funny, but I'm not concrete on any of that stuff. But yes, they actually talk like that, especially the deep Mainas. So, Maina.
The other comment I had was, where is it?
Where's Sam?
Where's Sam? Yes. I've been meaning to, because, and I understand that they're busy, and I did mention it at some point. It's something you've already read, I think, where he's thinking about her.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey Todd, how you doing, man? Nice to see you.
I haven't. What's up, buddy? Yes, we are writing books, and Todd, I'll have you know that we are up to 43,000 words. So we're heading in your
In your wheelhouse.
territory.
I
We're
don't
halfway
I don't know if
there.
it's me or you, but
Yeah,
we're freezing. We're down.
it's probably me.
Probably. I'm just gonna blame it on you either way. But yes, we're
So,
only 200K more to go. Hey, write 902,000 words and then come talk to me, playa.
yeah.
I'm gonna be bragging about that for the rest of my fucking life.
Well, we're just now finishing up our prologue.
Yeah, pretty much. Our prologue.
Anyway, Sam,
Yeah.
she hasn't. Hasn't been a lot of mention of her, especially considering how excited she was to, like, she hasn't sought him out. So,
Well, we've done the problem right now, and I knew this was going to be an issue. That's why I was excited to stuff them both in a box together, because we haven't given Shane any time whatsoever to breathe, other than him being asleep. And of course, they're not going to be asleep in the same trailer while on the road. So if you can, and there's a quick back and forth coming up. I don't know if you got there yet, where she sits down at the table with him.
No.
So there is more Sam coming, and she's not as much as an afterthought. But I was actually going to bring up in the next couple of chapters something maybe before, like, we got to get to the first phone call. Also, he's got to call Cassidy, but he's only been gone a day, so maybe a time jump to something. No. This is perfect. Carla has been snatched, so they can have some downtime after tonight as kind of like a going away party for Carla. So we can have more time, to get them into a place where so it can be just those two.
Yeah. Okay, I just didn't want to. I thought we should at least have mentioned, like, I see her over there doing her thing, and she waves and gives.
What does she do again? That's another reason why I haven't, like.
She does the. She does the.
Is it a tilt-a-whirl?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So.
And it was broken down. That's why she was not working that night.
That's what I was about to ask. Thanks, Todd. If you're still here, we're having fun.
Yeah. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, son. Thanks. Let's see here. Also, if it's the tilt-a-whirl and it was broken, she would be busy as fuck this day, especially this day, with the raid and everything. Well, then the very next day, she'd be busy as hell trying to get that fixed, get it reassembled, and all of that stuff. So I guess it's more of a logic problem. Like, why would she have time to hang around with him? So, but we definitely need some more connection. But there is a section with them sitting there eating their food together, and then there's a section after that with them getting stuck in a box together. And then later on that night, after the whole thing closes, they're going to do something to celebrate Carla. That's just what they do when someone dies, when someone leaves, unless it's a matter of them doing something wrong and they're excommunicated. There's always some kind of celebration of the time that they had together. So.
Okay.
But I mean, that's been my mindset. She wouldn't have time right now, anyways, because the only time that they've been together at the carnival has been a transitional period. So she's going to be working on her own thing. She keeps popping in, but it's definitely going to be. In fact, we might even throw something in there with Shane going, I've been waiting for this, waiting for this time because we haven't, really talked much since I came back. So I don't know. But did you have any other ideas for something earlier? I don't know.
No, I just noticed that she hasn't been around for so long. I just kind of pictured her as just so excited, because she was so excited, and then she's gone.
Yeah.
And I know that, like you said, he hasn't had much room to breathe. But even hasn't seen her in passing. Right. Hasn't. He wasn't up all night, but he was up into the wee hours doing what he could do, and then
Yeah, we can definitely pop something in there where she's over by the broken tilt-a-whirl, and maybe she's working on it or whatever, and then she turns around, she can just wave at him, and he can wave back or whatever. I don't know. There's all different kinds of stuff we can throw in there. But yeah, you're right. Having him see her around, because he'd definitely be looking around for her constantly. At that age, you're not significant other, but your crush is all you think about, is all you want to see next. It's like that's how you get from one moment to another. Even I might even do something riffing off that. Is like the space in between those times is just waiting to be with that person again. I could probably say that better, but yeah.
What if we had a little short scene during where he's cleaning up the animals? Because there's no real, and this is fine. He goes there, and then he does his job, but there's no detail about what he's doing or anything, and then he's gone to do the next thing, and that's fine. But what if while we had there, she sneaks off from what she's doing just to say hi, how you doing? How
she could be finished.
How are you doing? How's
yeah,
everything going on? And then he thinks that she does something where he thinks that she might kiss him, but she doesn't. And when she leaves, he wonders if it's because he's got that crap on his lip, and he,
that's great.
So that's why he wipes it off.
That would even build up even more tension for that, because they almost kiss twice in the box. So that would build up.
Good. I don't, because I want to stress that out. I don't want that to happen for a while.
You said you wanted tension. You didn't want the actual thing. You just wanted tension. So I 100% hit the tension, and I took Shane from the point of view of him having no fucking idea what's going on, and like her disappointment when they're. I can't remember exactly what I wrote, but the second time they're interrupted because Mingo throws the door open, and he's like, "They got Carla." But the first time, it was more of him being oblivious to what she was doing, because she keeps inching closer to him, and it's already a tight space. So he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" All that confusion. So we have that. But yeah, in fact, I can kind of picture it. Like he'll be, it would be right after the point where you say that he's shoveling shit. He could glance over, and she could be leaned up against the thing. Is like, "How's it going?" He's like, "Aren't you supposed to be working?" Some kind of joking back and forth, and be like, "Come over here, I want to talk to you." And maybe it actually is the vapor rub that kind of, you could have like her nose crinkling or whatever. Maybe we could do something, literally make it about the vapor rub, or maybe Jay or Henry haulers over is like, "Yeah, ain't got time for that shit. We got more stuff to do," or whatever. I don't know. But I do like that idea, because I can see it now. Her leaning on the fence, watching him work. Just that kind of cute scene. And they're like, "Oh, hi," kind of thing. Like, "How long you been there?" I don't know.
Well, I guess I'll write it.
Okay, go ahead. Still looking for. I don't think you've done. Anyway, so hang on before you get going. What are we doing about? Do you want me to fix all this gibberish, or do you want to move forward?
No, I can. I can deal with it. I mean, one thing I do like the idea that nobody can understand them, but at the same time, I hate the thought of a reader like slowing down and just going, "What the frick is this?" Because
you can put more emphasis on the fact that Shane doesn't even understand them.
Because I feel like, or maybe I'm in the minority. I don't know, but I just feel like the majority of people don't realize what you just said, that
Right.
Some of these people have such a thick accent that you like. When I think of people who have thick accents that you can't understand, it's like people from like Ireland, like or Scotland, were the ones that have the real hardcore like what's that Snatch, that movie?
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, yes, I know what you're talking about, the Pikeys.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, the traveling folks.
Jamaicans.
In fact, Pikey might even be a slur. I don't know. Anyways, but
I never think of like Americans.
Dude. Oh yeah, yeah. Have you ever?
Because I can't think of another
been around a Cajun
state.
They're talking English too, but that shit is thick and
Yes, yeah, but isn't that lent from like Jamaica
it's
or something?
no, it's French Jamaica. It can be both. Mostly it's French that they get stuck on. But you not Google, but go to YouTube and look at some thick Mainer accents, like the ones that were like born and raised, or they're in the up country, as they call it, or out in the county. With
Mm-hmm.
basically it's all the unincorporated places. That is just as it's thicker than like Southern folks, because it's the way they drop the letters. It's not like dropping the G off of anything ing like Southerners do. It's yeah, to some extent. King does it in the audiobook for a Bag of Bones,
Mm-hmm.
because he narrates it, and some of his stuff comes out like just it's just and some of them talk so quick they just drop the off and everything. Yeah, almost like JFK, but sped up and even worse. It's ridiculous. But yeah, going down to Baja Harbor, get yourself some lobster. That's one of the ones. It's like one of the first things that the guy got stuck on when I came here. Our car was totaled during the hurricane, so we had to go out looking for cars. And that was one of the first tastes that we got of like the local vernacular. We were down in Tillman's Corners, which is in Mobile. It's a little suburb. And we went out to this buy here, pay here place. Another thing that I'd never seen before, before moving out here. The guy comes out and, how y'all doing? And we're like, we're doing fine. How are you doing? He goes, God willing, the creek don't rise, and I think we're doing pretty good. I was like, what? God willing, the creek don't rise. You know, flooding. I'm like, I was so confused, but it's God willing and the creek don't rise,
Mm-hmm.
which basically means we're doing all right as long as it doesn't flood.
Yeah.
And I was, at that time I was 15. I'd never heard people talk like that. The closest I've ever heard anybody talk like that is like country music. I had no reference or whatever. But then you go from that up to Maine, a decade later, if not more. And that was even harder to understand. Because some of them talk extremely slow and you can catch on, but the ones that like the younger generation, bumped into one dude who was asking me for pills, trying to buy pills off of me, and I couldn't understand what the fuck he was talking about. I had no pills, but he was looking for pills, just a dude on the street. And when we were living in Maine, we lived in it's called the Cozy Inn, which is a hotel place that sells weekly rooms. It's basically apartments that you pay weekly for. And we were all the lowest of the low people, end up living there at their absolute worst time. And we were around drug dealers, prostitutes, all that stuff. But listening to someone, especially when they're high, they can't talk for shit. Like there's not a single word you're gonna catch out of any of that. Did Chad say what state living in? Boggle, I have no idea what you mean, hun. Did Chad say what state?
I live in Michigan, if that's what you mean.
I think that's what Boggle means. There's no telling what Boggle. Love you, Boggle. My new guitar will be here today, Chad.
You bought a guitar?
Yeah, about the one the one that you said was
that ugly one.
Yeah, yeah. But I knew it was destiny when you said it was ugly. I knew it was destiny. I'm like, I have to get it now
Because we don't agree on it.
Exactly, because we don't agree on anything. So I'm gonna fucking love it. Yes, fun
right.
or not. What we can do? Well, there's only 4 people in here now. I was about to say what we can do is show people the section that I'm talking about, but the only thing I will say is, and maybe you are in the minority, maybe you're not, maybe more people than I realize, but with the books that I write like that, like Sound of Broken Ribs, a couple of different ones where it's really heavy vernacular, I get complimented on the dialogue. So I don't know. Yeah, new guitar day. As soon as it gets in here, we're streaming. I'm gonna open it on camera. I was thinking maybe Pennsylvania. I was gonna ask if that escaped killer was close. Never. Even if it wasn't, Boggle, that's not just something that you ask somebody, hey, is that escaped killer anywhere near you? Terrible, Boggle. You're absolutely terrible. I'm going to give Chadwick...
That wouldn't bother me.
I'm going to give Chadwick anxiety. Shh, play along, fucker. What the hell are you doing? You're my partner. You're supposed to
Is there an escaped killer in Pennsylvania right now?
I have no idea, honestly. I'm guessing. Boggle says so.
No. Well, I've got some good friends there, so hopefully.
Oh wait, hopefully what? To finish that thought.
I don't know. Hopefully they're safe, and hopefully
Okay,
they're
hopefully they're
nowhere
safe. I
near.
was like, why did my brain automatically go to hopefully they die? Hopefully they get murdered. I don't know why. That's the first place I was like, what?
Yeah,
What? Finish the
yeah.
thought.
Hopefully they'll give me a good story to.
Hopefully they'll give you a good story. Good God, man.
Yesterday morning is escaped killer like they found a new serial killer, or this is somebody that busted out of prison and was on
Is
the
it the
run.
dude who literally like walked up the wall on his hands and feet? Like he went into like a breezeway. I saw a video of this. Guy went into a breezeway, put his hands on the wall, then kicked his feet up behind him on the other wall and literally walked up the wall that way, and that's how he escaped. And he was just gone.
I
Like
played
no
a video game where you'd had to do that and to break out of prison.
exactly. It's and anyways, what was it? I know the game you're talking about. It's
I
the
think it's. I think it was the. Man, what was it called? It's a co-op game
Yeah,
I play with
it's
my
the one with the
wife.
two guys getting out of prison, trying to
Yes,
escape from
one's a
prison, and I
Russian.
can't remember what I know. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can even say it's not It Takes Two. That's a completely different game.
Right. That's yeah. We
Um,
were playing that one too. It's a great game
uh,
for like a couple to play together.
me and me and Shell used to play
No
Borderlands
Way Out, is that
together.
what it's
No
called?
Way Out. That's it. That's exactly it. That is it. Uh, I followed the live manhunts every. Good God, 2 weeks. Not bad. What's 2 weeks? They finally got him yesterday. Oh, okay, yeah. 15 days terrorizing a small community. Wow. Is that the one is that also the one that he broke in somewhere and found a gun?
Michael Scofield from Prison Break.
Yeah. Boggle, is that the guy that found the gun? Like his last name was Calicaviente? Something like that? Yeah, that's him. Okay. I know who you're talking about now. So dude broke out of prison. Not only that, but he ended up it was like a day or two later or something, he broke into someone's house and stole a gun out of the house. So then now not only is he on the run, but he has a gun. But I'm glad they found him.
So he didn't want his freedom. He just wanted to continue killing.
I have no idea. No idea. That's all I've gotten from
That's
it.
a deep desire right there. If that's true.
Yeah. Oh, someone commented. I don't know this person. Don't know if they were trolling or whatever. But I am kind of dark on here. So the reason why I don't have my ring light on because I literally don't have room for it now. I don't have anywhere that I can put it where you can actually shine on my face. So you guys are getting shade E, instead of the bright faced dude that you are used to. They found him clutching the gun like he was just curled up in a ball in an alleyway, like I love you, gun. What? Clutching the gun. I'm sorry. Every single time I hear clutching, all I can think of is clutching pearls. He stabbed his ex-girlfriend almost 40 times in front of her. Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right then. Well, that's something. Where's Sam? Did you write anything else, Mr. Lutzke? Mr. Lutzke. No, because yeah, that's where I stopped. Damn it. All right, I gotta run to the restroom. I was hoping to wait for break, but it's no. I was only here 15 minutes. I don't want to. At least go in the restroom. I'll be back. He was laying under logs and woods. He wanted in Brazil for a murder too? Damn.
Here's an interesting video I just saw. I don't know if you can click on that or if it's even showing up.
Oh, it's not gonna. You might need to share your screen because. Oh, never mind. There it is. It's not gonna let me click it. Let me go over to YouTube.
It's an audiobook narrator talking about the industry standard of the Maine accent and the real Maine accent. And
That's not it. What am I doing?
it looks like a Matt Haynes Maine accent.
No, that's what in the hell? Oh yeah, I'm going to the wrong thing. Tim, yeah, Tim Sample is insanely popular comedian in Maine. There's another guy I can't think of his name, but yeah, they definitely do more caricatures than and he's right. But he's he's doing it slow.
I would think that that might depend on the person.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, just like we don't all talk the same speed.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Okay. He has there's an issue. He's also dealing with class. Uh, the the more affluent people talk like industry standard, and broke people talk more like the second one. But he's still not. I don't know. I got an issue with. Hang on. Let me. He's right about spent the days. It's kind of like the word car in Maine has two syllables. Kara. He's not around many broke people, that's for sure. Well, Bar Harbor is not. It's more affluent.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of the comments are absolutely packed full of people from Maine too that are giving input. Some are saying, like depends on the economy where
Yep.
you were
Yep.
raised.
That's what I was talking about. Class. Yeah.
Some are saying this nails it. I've been living here for 2 decades. Some, I think it's
Yeah. Exactly. Like this one, it says it's not a thing amongst many younger Mainers, especially in southern Maine, but I can guarantee that accent is still around. Most of my uncles have. Yeah. The older folks, they talk like industry standard. Also, the affluent people, the richer side of things talk
mhm.
more like industry standard, and the broke people talk kind of close. The thing is, when you get to listening to them and they talk and they're talking fast like normal conversation, that ara, that the r completely disappears from that, from the you don't hear the r at all. It's all at the end when there's supposed to be an r. So I mean, he's right, but again, like you're seeing down in the comments, there are people who are going to be like, never heard that before in my life, I've lived here all my life, whatever. And then you're going to have other people who are like, my family talks like this, I talk like that, so on and so forth. That's the problem with vernacular, though, is that everybody uses it differently. Like there's 18 different forms of like southern accent. You have Texas, you have Alabama, Florida. None of these people sound the same if you sit and really listen to them.
Mhm.
It's a completely different, and it's all a slowed down version of the Queen's English, which is funny, because as much as they hate New England and the UK, it's if you listen to the southern accent, you can hear the the British coming out in it. But yeah, it's just slowed down British. Um, Anyhow, am I missing something? The only thing you got highlighted here is from a chubby guy down to gravy. Was there anything else that you worked on, or is that it? Because I don't see any
You
other yellow.
you read you read the huge chunk that I had yesterday. This is mainly from just before we logged off, and then a little bit this morning.
Okay.
Can't be playing World of Warcraft and writing at the same time. Sorry.
No, obviously, obviously, absolutely terrible of you. Who in the world plays so many video games? That just doesn't make any sense. You're not getting anything done, Mr. Lutzke.
I still owe freaking Joe Meinhardt a short story. The deadline is in 2 weeks.
Good luck, bro. Write it this weekend. You got this. More about living the life and having the essential. I like that. Viking digs your hat.
Thank you, Viking. I dig it too. My wife does not.
Looking like a stinking beach bum. What's wrong with you, Chad?
I bought two recently, and I think she likes this one better. My other one has flaming pumpkins on it.
Ooh, I want to see the flaming pumpkins. I want a flaming pumpkin hat. Let's see here.
She also doesn't like that sweet jacket that I have that everybody loves.
Ah. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get my break out of the way, come back and just jump into this. So I'll see y'all in about 15 minutes.
Okay. The Flaming Pumpkins. Yes. Right before they were smashed.
All right. That was creepy as fuck. Both of us just adjusted the same way. We went like this at the exact same time.
Oh, really?
That was fucking weird, Mr. Lutzke. All right. No, come on. What the fuck just happened? Hang on.
You hearing a car again?
No, I was typing and all of a sudden I jumped down into the later chapter section and was typing there. I'm also working on a concept that Shane is most comfortable around Kay because Kay doesn't talk. So he's the one who's always talking, and it's like he says the most when he's around Kay. Like he's so comfortable because the guy doesn't say anything or whatever it is. Or maybe it's because he's uncomfortable all the time, you know, talking to people. So when he finally meets someone, I don't know, but that's what I'm riffing off of with Kay.
Okay.
You mentioned, you know, someone coming along to being kind of like a sidekick or someone he can confide into or whatever. And Kay might be partly that. I don't know. I'll see where this goes.
What the heck, man?
But
No, well, I
go ahead. Does it go ahead? Wait.
it has nothing to do with writing. I was trying to. My wife sent me a message, and we're doing this every year. We try to have a Halloween bingo party, and where we just play bingo at my house, and we invite some friends, just not very many friends, mostly just family.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs so much to like get in, and they cost so much for each card bingo that we play and stuff. And then we always freaking lose, but whatever. It's just fun. And then we try to turn it into like a costume thing too. And the year that I bought the Dogman from The Shining behind me there, that's what I was going to be that year, and I was going to get the full suit and everything, and my wife was going to be the other part of that scene, the wear a suit or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe we could take some pictures, and then so we're doing it this year, but I was going to get something else, and the two masks that I wanted to get are I just checked, and one of them has I've been wanting it's a Barlow mask from Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like that, like perfect, and it's $100. It's fairly expensive for a mask, but every time I go there, I've been going to the website for the last couple of years, and every 6 months I'll pop in and see if they still have it. And every time I go to add it to my cart, I get an error. So I emailed the company finally, and then so I was like, well, screw it, I'll get the Lucio Fulci zombie mask from Trick or Treat Studios. They're all sold out. So
Damn.
That's all. It was just I was taking a break to get that worked out, but
That's cool.
honestly, the party is an excuse for me to very, very slowly up my mask collection too.
Cool.
I'm working on this. Yeah, I'm working on the scene with. Man, I cannot remember these characters' names. Sam. I got to stop writing so many books at the same time.
Is that a Fender Jazz?
No, it is a Squire. I bought it for my son, my youngest. It's just a cheap guitar that I paid like $125 for or something.
Is it built like a jazz bass though?
Nah.
No?
It's
kind of looks like
the impressive thing about it is that it is, well, it's kind of small, but I bought it for him like years ago. Wasn't even sure if he would be into that or not. So that's why I didn't want to spend very much money, because then I would be pissed if I spent $400 on a guitar and he's like, I don't want this. I don't want to play this. So I bought him that bass, and it's up here because I was laying bass. I don't play bass. I mean, I can play bass better than somebody like Nikki Sixx, who's making millions doing it. But
right, I get you.
I mean, we can all play better than Nikki Sixx. Let's face it.
Yeah.
But, yes, ride that E, Nikki.
Yep, ride it.
But no, I mean, if you can play guitar, you can play bass. Not like Flea, but you can play bass. So I was laying a bass track down because I don't have a bass, and I didn't want to use the electronic thing, even though I recently bought a MIDI keyboard to do just that. It's just I didn't want to mess around with it. But
I think no, that's mini precision. Never mind. Go ahead.
But I'll tell you what, man, I bought that. I can't remember if I bought it at Guitar Center or Amazon, but I had it shipped here. Dude, when that thing got here, it was in tune.
Cool.
And it stayed in tune for months and months. You barely ever have to tune it. The only problem is when I was recording, there's only one little pickup on here, and the low end drops out, and the higher strings pick up, so it's very uneven when you listen back to the track. So I have to figure out either to get a new bass or go in and tweak all the levels, which I really don't want to do. But
Yeah.
he finally started playing it this year.
Cool.
Or last year. So I bought him an amp for Christmas too. But
oh yeah, it's just his. I got you.
But yeah, it's pretty. It's got a short neck. It's fairly small. Just cheap, but it's definitely worth $125 for a starter bass.
You got me over here on Amazon looking for Enya. Enya's the brand of guitar that's coming in today. Got me over here on Amazon seeing if they have a bass. They do not, but I was looking to see if they had a bass to go with the guitar.
Enya, huh? So does that mean you can only play New Age music on it?
I knew the joke was coming eventually. I knew it was coming.
Hey, I like Enya.
I know one song, and it's the one that was always on MTV constantly.
What one's that?
I can't remember the name of it. I'd know it if I heard it, but I can't remember the name of it.
I hadn't even heard of Schecter until my son, my oldest boy, bought one and brought it over, and I was like, "What is this?" And it played nice. I was like, "I never even heard of this company before," which is embarrassing because when I did research, they've been around forever, and I didn't know that, so I bought one.
Oh yeah, I remember when they first came out. They were basically they were popular specifically for 7 strings. And I think that's all they had at the beginning, and then they came out with basses, regular 6 strings, then like 7, 8. Well, of course they had the 7s, but then they came out with 8 and 9 strings and all that stuff, and they were always the cheap but quality. So. The only guitar I ever had that I really truly miss is my Jackson Kelly. I was obsessed with that guitar. It was extremely hard to play, even though it had a nice cut in the bottom. It was extremely heavy. My mom got it for me because she got her credit card paid off or something like that, and she's like, "I want to get you something, and then have you like pay for half of it, teach you, responsibility or whatnot." So she got me a Kelly. And I was huge into Megadeth at that time. And Marty Friedman played a Kelly when he was with Megadeth.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my dream guitar. She got it was like $750. It was this sunburst purple. So it was like black on the outside, and then the inside, like, well, you know what a sunburst purple is anyways, but that's the color. Absolutely gorgeous guitar. The only album I ever recorded was on that guitar. And I ended up having to sell it because I had it all the way up until 2005 when I hurt my back, and workman's comp, of course, is only 66% of your income. So I had to sell it to get it retained its value. Mom spent $750 on it at Guitar Center, and I sold it for $615. I believe it was Craigslist or whatever the equivalent was back then. In fact, it might have been something like an Auto Trader, but not Auto Trader. I think they're called around here. They're like Bulletin something. Anyways, there's a certain magazine around here. It's made out of recycled newspaper, and I believe it's just called Bulletin Board. I don't know, but I think I sold it in that and ended up getting $615 for it, which for a 6-year-old guitar is pretty fucking good. It's funny because I have a $600 Martin acoustic in the house. It's only worth like $50 now. So Jackson maintains its value, but nobody wants. I've been trying to sell this acoustic guitar forever, and nobody wants it. I was not aware that the Mexican Martins were bad. I just knew that Martin was good, and so they. But the neck is not bowed. It's just the way the guitar is built, to where the strings are way too high up. I guess I could file down the whatever it's called. It's not the nut. It's not the nut up here. It's that little piece of plastic on an acoustic guitar down by the strings.
Bridge?
I guess so. The bridge. I thought it was called something different though. anyways, but it's you can file that down. I guess I could go through that trouble, but I'm so worried about destroying the guitar by working on the bridge. I mean, at this point, I don't even play it because the strings are so high up. Yeah, but that little piece of plastic is called something. It's not just the bridge, and I can't remember what it is, because you can order them just that piece.
I think I got 4 acoustics, but one of them only four or 5, but only 2 of them are playable. And the one that I play the most is just some generic thing that my wife bought at like a flea market. I've written probably 100 songs on it. It doesn't even play all that great. And if it gets humid here, something happens to the wood inside, and it turns into distortion. It's very strange. I can't remember the name of it.
Bridge pins. It's a little. I can't remember what it's called. It's not the bridge, because the bridge is the whole thing. Yeah, the bridge is the entire thing, and then you have the bridge pins. But that piece is called something, and I can't. It's driving me nuts because I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, thanks. This is I got a sticker over the. Is it a harmony? I can't tell.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it is a harmony. It's not great, and it's. I think I got it in '93. I think. Yeah, but it does not play great. The action is kind of bad.
Yeah, the action on my Martin is fucking horrible, dude. There's like half an inch at the 12th. Yeah, at the 12th 12th
Mine's
fret.
not that bad.
Well, mine is. And saddle. Thank you. It's the saddle. Thank you. Or the seat. I know some people call it the seat too, but that little piece, that was driving me nuts. Thank you, Viking. Impromptu concert, y'all.
Yeah, I wish it was doing that distortion thing now. It'd be kind of funny, but my grandson stuck goldfish crackers in here recently.
Goldfish crackers? I thought it was a pick you lost in there because I lose picks.
I did too until I thought it was adorable. I got them out of there, and I was like, I gotta put these back in there.
That's great.
So 20
That's
years from now,
great, dude. You know what you should do? Well, I don't know. Just in case they get moldy or whatever, if that happens, you can like dump them out and then get those little plastic fish and put a couple in there just so you can remind yourself.
probably be powder one day.
Yeah. Dude. All right, I'll be back. I gotta go to the restroom.
No problem, man. I love talking music. Probably more than anything else, except for maybe horror movies.
Stop apologizing, Viking. We are professionals. We don't get distracted for long.
Right. I wrote that scene and fixed a couple spots that needed something added just because of some minor changes.
Okay. I'll go up and read it here in a second. About to take my next break when I come back and finish up.
Alrighty.
I'll read, not finish up. I'm finishing up now. Finishing up the chapter. I'm not entirely sure if I like it. I'll probably end up changing it tomorrow, but
Okay.
I feel like I'm meandering, so it definitely needs to give some purpose to this section. But I'd hate to lose everything that I've written so far.
Right.
Hang on here.
112 pages.
Okay. That's good enough.
You in the zone?
No, not really. I don't like anything I wrote today, but I'll either fix it tomorrow or I'll figure out a way to make it work. I got this chapter, him kind of like just trying to set up him taking over for the bumper cars, in Carla's stead, and I don't think I like any of it. But I'll either rework it or whatever. But yeah, we got pages done. You scroll up here to where you are. When I get back from break, I'll read whatever you've done. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll be back. Enjoy your food or whatever you're doing over there in the darkness.
All right, man.
Again, just trying to get to the next page. I've already written a chapter in this. Write another chapter, or at least another page to get further in this chapter. Because I got a lot of crap to do today. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna jump on and do a little bit of writing, not for long, probably less than an hour. And I took it, Chris, in a long time, but I think that's because last time I had a case of this edition that I remember from the last time. So it tastes different. I think they got rid of the more sugar, or they changed the sugar to some healthier sugar bullshit. Probably not any of the asbestos or the arsenic like they used to put on it. Give it that nice flavor. That was good. I only had a bowl. So the other day we were, well, my wife was in Atlanta. She came back last night. And I guess yesterday, the day before, she likes to eat cereal. But she has like that special K with berries or cherries or some shit. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna have a bowl. And so I went in the fridge, and I don't drink milk at all, and the milk was awful, spoiled. So I dumped the milk, and then I never went out. Oh, then yesterday I did go out, and I bought. It was nice. I filled my wife's truck with gas, and then I bought a gallon of milk because a couple days ago, that's what I was gonna eat my cereal, because my wife was talking about, I gotta get cereal. I'm almost out of cereal. So I get a box of her special. And I said, you know what? Maybe I want cereal, because I don't drink milk at all. I don't like milk at all. I don't like a glass of milk. Disgusting. I also have I don't think I'm lactose intolerant. I just think my stomach does not like milk at certain times. Because I can eat cheese, I can eat dairy, no problem. Sometimes just drinking a glass of milk, not good. So I was like, you know what? I want cereal. But I'm not going to go with you. You don't want me to go shopping with you. She's like, what cereal do you want? Coming out again. And I was like, you know what? Last year we were at Sam's Club or something, and we bought the giant, like, I think I showed her, like the blueberry and the Count Chocolate, like the 4 different boxes. And I barely ate any of it. I ended up giving it to my dog because I just wasn't in the mood to eat cereal. Like, I go through phases. So I was like, you know what? I don't want Count Chocolate. And then the first thing, for some reason, I was Cookie Crisp. You know what? Buy me a box of Cookie Crisp. So she did. And when she showed it to me, I'm like, this is almost like kids. Like, the box was smaller, the box was way thinner, and I literally made a bowl. And I didn't make like a giant, like a normal size bowl of cereal, and that was half the box. And I'm like, I hope you didn't pay a lot for this, because I'm getting 2 bowls of cereal out of this. Anyway, I was like, I could have my leftovers from the food I made for lunch yesterday, but you know what? My wife's probably going to work late tonight because she was in Atlanta, so I will eat the leftovers tonight while I'm going to watch Chobot. I did not watch it last night. The only kid cereal I generally still enjoy is Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, Fruity Pebbles is good. Cocoa Pebbles is also good for me. I didn't think of those though. I thought of Cookie Crisp, and I thought, when's the last time I had Cookie Crisp? You know? The thing is, I never walk down the cereal aisle, and I never think if I am walking down the cereal aisle, and I don't hardly ever go to the store either. But it's all interesting. So that's what I have. I also, last night, because I bought milk, I also made a giant glass of milk, and I poured a shitload of chocolate syrup, Hershey syrup in it. And that does not bother my stomach. I don't know why. Those Special K cereals are good. There's one with little chocolate pieces in it, which almost makes it a chocolate syrup. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So she's a real big fan of those Special K cereals. So there's always at least a box, usually 2, and if she sees them on sale, she'll buy like 4 of them, and that's what she'll eat. And then like she's making me all these big fancy Hello Fresh meals, and then she's making raw or a bowl of cereal for herself. She's definitely looking forward to going away next week to Tampa with me, so she does not have to cook for 5 days. It should be nice. The interesting thing is I actually didn't grow up eating cereal. You're crazy. You grew up, where the hell did you grow up? In the jungles? You grew up in the manhole covered sewers of New York City? So your parents made actual food for you for breakfast? They didn't just want us to eat restaurant? They were here, take yourself a damn bowl of cereal. Parents said that they think it was like a meal, not cereal. So I had cookie from at 8, but it wasn't too much. Well, bangers and bangers. They're all stuffed in wrapped in eucalyptus things. I grew up on cereal. Of course, we were poor, so I grew up on those knockoff cereals. Like we didn't get Wheaties, we didn't get Cheerios. We got like something other O's, some weird shit, and I was like, this is not Honey Nut Cheerios. This is like Honey Ooze or something, you know. And they came in a bag. They didn't even put them in a box. We would eat a lot of that crap, or we would eat something. And me and my brother would be like, oh, these are supposed to be Wheaties. Oh, okay. Chad says I live in Cereal City, Battle Creek, Michigan. For those not in the know, they have Kellogg's, Post, General Mills, and Nelson. Here, I smell your cereal before you eat it. Nice. I'd eat the hell out of rice and beans. I'm a big fan of rice and beans.
Okay. Yeah, I've decided I'm gonna cut everything I wrote today, but I'm gonna leave it because I'm gonna build off of it, maybe use some of the stuff. But if you get to the chapter, the show must go on, just ignore it until I tell you I'm not.
Okay.
Coolio. Yeah, I dig it. Oh, I gotta go pick up my fucking CPAP on Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
How'd the sleep study go?
Fucking terrible.
Were you able to sleep?
Uh,
Did you have to go there and do it?
Yeah, I had. They don't do home stuff. I should have pulled my disability card and been like, "Hey, you're gonna have to come to me." But it was fucking hell. I told the story on stream last night, but try to give you the condensed version. So I get in there, and she's hooking me up. She's got it all started off with I knew I was in trouble when she used plastic tape to secure the wires on my legs. When you're dealing with someone who has hair on their body, you don't use plastic tape because when it comes off, it feels like you're being fucking waxed. You're supposed to use paper tape. And I said, "Oh, that's gonna hurt when it comes off." She goes, "No, you'll be fine." And to hear me, I know what plastic tape does to skin. In fact, if you use it on an older person, like 80s and 90s with thin skin, you can literally tear off the top layer of skin. That's how strong that glue is. And she's like, "Oh, you'll be fine." I didn't tell her about any of my medical knowledge or any of that stuff. I was just like, whatever. So she gets done, and I tell her, I'm gonna have problems sleeping, so just let me try and get to sleep on my own, so on and so forth. But every time I fell asleep, I talk in my sleep, especially when I dream, and Shell's always telling me about the funny shit I say or that I'm just laughing in my sleep. So literally every time I start to doze off and I get into that like dream state where you don't know you're asleep, you still think you're awake kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I was talking. So she kept coming over the intercom and waking me up, saying, "What did you say, Mr. So-and-so?" Of course, using my real name. And I was like, nothing. And I didn't even have the presence of mind because I was so tired. to tell her that that I talk in my sleep. So she kept waking me up, and then I don't know how long this went on. I have no concept of time because there's no clock in there on purpose. And I turned my phone off because I had very little battery left. I usually charge my phone overnight, but I couldn't do it there because I forgot my charger. So I have no idea the time frame, how long that I was supposedly asleep or awake or whatever. But she finally comes in and she goes, all right, we got to put this on you. So she puts the CPAP on me, and it doesn't really, I don't guess it, the seal. She's like, we got to have a good seal. And I'm thinking to myself, how? I have this beard. They didn't tell me to shave. So I'm just like, it probably won't get a good seal with the hair on my face. And she said, oh, that doesn't matter. Here I am. I know that it fucking matters. But she's like, oh, that doesn't matter. So she leaves me alone. I try to go back to sleep, tossing, I'm turning, I can't sleep because I got this whole rig, plus I got 30 wires coming out of everywhere. There's like 10 or 12 on my head, and I stopped counting after 20. It's definitely at least 30, but she got all this, plus I had this wire going across my nose, this little like triangle, almost looks like a cowbell underneath my nose. It's supposed to read my breaths. And then on top of that, I have a nasal cannula, which is basically the oxygen tubes up in my nose, so I can't breathe through my nose. Every time I try to roll over onto my side or onto my stomach, because I usually sleep on my stomach, she's like, no, you have to sleep on your back. I'm like, I'm going to stop breathing if I sleep on my back. I can't do that. She's like, well, it's not going to read if you sleep on your stomach. I'm like, okay, whatever. So already this thing is going to be skewed because I'm fat, and if I lay on my back, all the weight presses down and I can't breathe. So I have to sleep on my stomach. So of course I have sleep apnea if I'm on my back, but I never sleep on my back. Anytime I have slept on my back, Shell will wake me up, say you're snoring, and I roll over. Because sometimes, like especially with my gummy, sometimes I'll fall asleep on my back, just because I'm so exhausted. But I always end up rolling over, and then I'm fine. So throughout the night, I don't. Once again, I keep wanting to say like every 30 minutes or so, because that's what it felt like. But I was asleep, so I have no idea. I kept waking up, gasping, and not being able to breathe, and having to pull the mask off of myself and take big breaths.
Dang.
And then she would come over the intercom and she'd be like, Mr. So-and-so, you have to keep the mask on. I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't. She's like, I understand, but that's what the mask is for. It's like, I am suffocating. It is smothering me. On top of that, I am sweating so much that the mask is just sliding all around my face. She won't let me take the mask off to get a drink of water. So finally, there's been numerous times, like 6 times this has happened. So finally I said, can I get up and go to the bathroom? My tongue, I'm asking her if I can get some water up until that point too. And she's like, no, you can't take the mask off. My tongue is rock hard. It's so dried out. I can't feel it. I'm literally like this and talking like this because I can't move my tongue. It's just this rock hard, dried hunk of meat in my mouth. So I finally lied and said I had to go to the bathroom. I go into the bathroom, and as nasty as this is, especially in a hospital setting, I literally took the mask off, put my face underneath the faucet. I would never do this normally, but I was dying of thirst, and sucked water directly from the tap. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they clean the fucking thing, but I know from experience that things like that usually don't get cleaned. So I also have that stuck in my head now. I come back in there. And I sit down and I tell her, I was like, you might as well just go ahead and disconnect me. There's no way I'm getting back to sleep now. She goes, I can't do that because if you don't stay here at least 6 hours, your insurance isn't going to pay for it. I should have known as soon as she said the tape on the legs won't let me drink, all these things. You're not going to get an accurate reading, any of that stuff. I should have just left. But it just kept on. And then now, the only time frame I know for certain is that the very last time I snatched the mask off and I'm gasping, feel like I'm dying, she comes over the intercom and she goes, are you ready to get up, Mr. So-and-so? Very flippant and aggravated. I'm like, yes, please. I can't breathe with this thing on. So she comes in and she's she's aggravated. You can tell she's pissed off at me. I don't know what it is, but she's snatching things off. She's ripping the tape off of my leg. But when I find, after all that, she takes, I mean, it's got to be 30, 45 minutes. She's scrubbing the gunk off my head with alcohol, all this stuff. She's cleaned me up best she can, and I'm supposed to go take a shower afterward also. But I turned on my phone when she's done. Takes my phone a couple minutes to boot up. I look at it, and at that time it was 5:03. She told me she was going to wake me up at 5:30. So obviously she was just tired of me and wanted to get me out of there. So later on yesterday, that afternoon, I get a phone call from them saying they have they left a message because I was on a Do Not Disturb, and saying that they had my sleep results. So I call them back, and the lady tells me, okay, so the first tried to sleep, you stopped breathing 82 times. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I stopped breathing 82 times. That's more than once a minute. And somehow I still ended up dreaming about purple butterflies and a bunch of other stuff. None of this shit is making sense. Then she says, and then when we put the CPAP on you, you had a sleep rating of 10, which is perfect. The problem with that is I was not sleeping perfect because they have it on camera. I kept waking up, and the lady was fussing at me about taking the mask off because I couldn't breathe in it. Anyways, all that, I've done my research. The pressure was too low. That's what I've gotten from the research, is if you can't breathe with the mask on, the pressure's too low and it needs to be upped. You're supposed to be able to breathe through your nose, but the mask she had me wear was so tight here, all I could do was breathe through my mouth. So my whole mouth was dried out. I still have a tickle right here in my throat from all that. And for 3 or 4 hours after I got done, I was coughing. I was having problems breathing. It was just absolutely fucking horrendous. Thought I was dying, all this stuff. But I started doing research, and basically she didn't do anything that she was supposed to do. She was supposed to check the pressure. She was supposed to make me all different kinds of things that she didn't do. And I argued with the lady. I was like, how the hell is it that I slept perfectly when I was woken up numerous times having to gasp for breath? She goes, that was just your body getting used to it. I was like, these two things do not make sense together. Either I slept perfectly all the way through the night at a sleep number of 10 or whatever the fuck you said, or I was waking up gasping thinking I was dying. One of those two things do not go together. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, it's to be expected with this, so on and so forth. I'm like, whatever. So she's like, I'm going to go ahead and send your CPAP over to Pro Health Aid. You can they'll call you, and then you can go pick it up. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I would literally rather die in my sleep of a heart attack than suffer like I suffered the other night. And Shell was on my side for it, even though she doesn't like the idea of me, dying. She was like, I kind of get it. And then we got to talking about it after I got off the phone, and she was like, how about you try it? Maybe if they get it right, because I told her about all the research I did. Maybe I was like, are you sure? Because it's a loud machine, and you're going to be hearing me struggle all night to, pulling on it, tossing and turning and all that stuff. She goes, I just want you healthy. Like, okay, so I call them back. Also, my insurance wouldn't have covered any of it unless I got the treatment that they prescribed, which is the CPAP. So I decided, okay, what I'll do is I will go and get the CPAP, and then if I decide I can't do it, if it is really as annoying as it was during the study, then what I'll do is I'll put it up on Craigslist or something and just give it away to someone who actually is going to use it, kind of thing. So I got to go pick that up on Tuesday. But yeah, they said I have horrible sleep apnea and I shouldn't be alive, basically.
Dang.
Which none of it makes any sense, dude. It doesn't. What I know medically about sleep apnea, you do not dream because you never get deep enough into sleep to get to REM. I dream all the time. It's very lucid, but also, like I said, I sleep on my stomach. And Shell has been up, in fact, recently, Shell's been up playing Starfield into the wee hours of the night. And she said, I breathe just fine. I have no problems. There's no gasping. There's no waking up, like I can't breathe, any of that stuff. She says every now and again I'll snore, but other than that, I'm fine, which is complete opposite of what happened there. But yeah, it was hours and hours of feeling like I was being smothered. It was like torture, and I don't put that lightly. I'm not trying. It's not hyperbole, exaggeration, any of that stuff. I felt like I was dying. I felt like they were torturing me to the point that my body was going to give out. Until finally she got pissed off at me. It was like, "Are you ready to get up, Mr. So-and-so?" I'm like, "Yes, please, come get me." Fuck. But yeah, it was hell, and I hope I never have to deal with that again. But I probably will be. I probably will, because I'll be tested like once a year to see if it's getting any better. So I gotta drop this weight. I gotta do something, because I'm not gonna be on this fucking CPAP for the rest of my life. On top of that, I take gummies. I use weed to relax and for pain relief and to get to sleep at night, and that dries your mouth out too. So they say the lady on the phone said they have ones with humidifiers, but they're not sure if my insurance will cover one with a humidifier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where I'm at there.
Dang, yeah, I've never had a sleep study. I feel like I wouldn't be able to sleep at all.
Yeah. It's disgusting. I hated it, and I still feel like I have shit in my lungs. Alright, I'm gonna highlight everything that I wrote today just so I can find it easier. Big garish red. You can't really read it, but I don't want you reading it anyways because all that's changing. I refuse to go for any testing anymore. This is the worst one I've ever been to, Boggle. I was literally in fear for my life. And they were just like, "Nah, you'll be fine. It'll be okay." And then that Heffy ripping that tape off my legs, man. I'm glad my mother drove into me, never hit a woman, because I probably would have slapped the shit out of her. I was that angry. I was like, I want to do violence upon you. But it's whatever. Twitch still hasn't updated. Still says I only have 49 followers in the achievements list. Hopefully that updates pretty soon, because I want to get some subs in. Anyways. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. I can click on your face up here and it takes me exactly where you are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Takes me right to wherever your cursor is. That's cool. Makes it easy. I read all that. You can, if you're, yeah.
Yeah,
I figured that's what you were doing. Ugh. Hoping this guitar gets here soon. Go live to do the unboxing. Damn. The whole box and everything, 17.7 pounds. I know I'm gonna have to get new strings because nobody puts good strings on their guitars right out the gate.
Yeah, not usually.
I also don't know which kind of strings I need to get because it's labeled an acoustic electric. So I don't know if I need to get probably electric strings, but anyways. Can't help falling in love with you. One more day of writing. Tomorrow I have to rewrite everything that I wrote. Well, not rewrite. I just have to actually write the section that I need to write. Part of the problem was I forgot halfway through that we said we were going to have him work the bumper cars now that Carla's been seized. In love with you. But
you hum the weirdest stuff, man.
no,
Like Wizard of Oz and that French thing you're just doing.
yeah. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my confusing ass brain. There's always something going on up here. Doesn't mean it's anything good, but there's always something going on. All right, I sent you the links for tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go. Keep your notifications on and handy because at some point in time, I'm going to go live today when my guitar gets here, unless it gets here after the stream, not after I go live on Twitch. And then we'll have to do it tomorrow after this stream. I don't know if I can wait that long. So if nothing else, I'll just show it off because I'm going to open it as soon as it gets here. I might just cry off as soon as it gets here over on Twitch and come over here and start streaming. But anyways, thank y'all for joining us. I hope y'all got some work done. Anything you want to say before we go, Chad? Nope. All right. So until next time, enjoy your spaghetti dreams and all hail the chair.